of the line. Lindholm, and a nice glove save by Mrazek.
Boston Bruins at Chicago Blackhawks. First period, Chicago's rookie phenom Connor Bedard scores on the power play to give his team the lead.
Bedard scores!
Or did he? Bruins head coach Jim Montgomery challenges the play, arguing Chicago was offsides.
On further video review, it was determined the play was offside. We have no goal.
Montgomery was right, but to be fair, that's impossible to see in real time. Someone in the Bruins video room saw it and told the coach to challenge.
We've got the headsets that we're radioing in to an assistant coach on the bench and telling him it's offsides.
That someone is New Hampshire's Matt Myers.
I love it. Absolutely love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
As video coordinator for his hometown team, Myers carefully dissects video, analyzing the Bruins and their opponents. He logs each game, putting together the blueprint for what the Bees try to do every time they hit the ice.
So it's what they do really well and how we're going to counter that, as vice versa as to what we do really well and how we can sort of expose them.
On game days, it's an early 6 a.m. start for Myers, or Matty, as he's known around the halls of Warrior Ice Arena. On this day, Boston was hosting the Anaheim Ducks. We were given a rare peek inside the coaches' meeting.
They're an aggressive forechecking team here. Any strong side chips, they're going to have 3 on the same side of the ice. F2 is coming down the wall. F3 is looking to seek 2. F1 and F3 are hunting, so we keep it moving here, first touch.
Myers guides coaches through video from the last time the Bruins played the Ducks.
Like, their forwards will track back hard, so it doesn't look like man-on-man, but if you hinge or whatever, that forward's going to go back.
He works closely with head coach Montgomery, who says Matt's hockey knowledge is superb.
Matt's work is extremely important to us because he makes us so efficient.
But Montgomery says his biggest strength comes from outside the rink.
Matt is an inspiration, to be honest, and he's a close friend now. And because working with him, you know, all the obstacles and adversity he's had to overcome to get to where he is why he's so good. I mean, he's tough-minded, but yet he's very empathetic towards everybody.
Matt was faced with big odds long before the rise to the top of his profession. The 32-year-old was born with achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism. Matt's dad, Marty, knew life wouldn't be easy for his son.
That was life-altering for sure, right? Being given the news as a first-time parent that your child is going to be born with a dwarfism, you know, it was a lot of uncertainty.
Marty coached Bedford's high school team and Manchester youth hockey. Naturally, the sport was in Matt's DNA. With dwarfism, he reached milestones later in life. He learned to skate before he could walk, pushing milk crates on ice. That was Matt's first experience with mobility.
Early on, I became addicted to that feeling of like, okay, I'm able to do this, and not everyone's able to do this.
He played as long as he could, but eventually the physical nature of the sport became too risky, so he had to hang up his skates. But Dad found a way to redirect Matt's love of the game.
You know, I tried to find something else, and we found a really good niche for him, and the niche was running a game clock.
Matt did anything he could, the clock, the scoreboard, refereeing. He was the team manager for Trinity High School. Hockey helped him find his stride.
When life got hard growing up, I always found myself at a rink, so whether it be skating or running the clock for my dad's teams or keeping stats or just following my dad's teams around, being in the locker room or whatnot. It's where I always felt the safest.
In college, former University of New Hampshire coach Dick Umili didn't have any openings, but Matt kept showing up to every practice, eventually getting his shot to be the Wildcats video coordinator.
It was an opportunity for me to teach myself the game.
After graduation, the U.S. women's national team called. They had the same software he used at UNH. Matt's career took off. He worked for the Nashville Predators and was part of their 2017 Stanley Cup run. then worked with the Buffalo Sabres. That led him to his dream job in Boston, where he's been for the last 5 seasons.
If you told me that I was going to work with Patrice Bergeron, Zdeno Chara, Tuukka Rask, Brad Marchand, Charlie McAvoy, I wouldn't believe you.
Myers may not play, but he can make the same reads as the athletes. He leads the player meetings to get his guys ready.
All right, fellas, Anaheim, our rules are in play here. You see they got a strong side chip. They've got numbers to the puck, but this is a D2. Low forward, we want you coming back to the wall, D returning to the net, and chip, like Monty said.
Players listen closely to his coaching because, as Captain Brad Marchand will tell you, it's a game of inches.
First off, he's an incredible guy. A lot of fun just to have around, even just to bounce, ideas off of, and, what do you think about this play and stuff like that. He's great with all that stuff, so he's been a huge asset to our group.
Veteran forward James Van Riemsdyk played at UNH just as Myers was starting college.
Obviously knowing him since back at UNH. I remember being at some house parties with him back there when I'd go visit my brother. So yeah, it's fun to be back with him on this level.
Along his journey, Myers has dealt with challenges. People stare, make comments, but it doesn't bother him.
I sort of take my approach in life the same how I do with my career a little bit, where it's just be a good person, just be positive, wake up every day with a smile and not let anything deter you.
In sports, Myers never had a role model who looked like him, but now he can be that for others. Most importantly, for his 6-month-old daughter, Maeve. She also is a little person.
Wanting to show that the game and society and sports are so good for you individually in personal development, and it can create this self-confidence.
Myers married his wife, Amanda, last year. Long hours and long road trips are harder now with a growing family at home, and he knows there will be a day when there's no hockey. But for now, he's living his dream as a Boston Bruin and trying to help lead his team to the ultimate goal, winning a Stanley Cup.
I'm just incredibly grateful for what I do now, and I'm enjoying every second of the ride. I hope that I've impacted players that I've met along the way and coaches that I've met along the way to not really judge a book by its cover, that get to know the person, and you might find something that blows you away.